I feel like I learned this one so early. I was blessed to learn this early in my career from the great Carrie Patterson. And Sean, I think I've told you this story. Some people may have read this story. I think it's in Multipliers. But Carrie Patterson was this great author. He passed a couple years ago, and I had this incredible honor, pleasure, joy, riotous fun of working for him. And he had this brilliant mind. And honestly, I was kind of intimidated by Carrie just because of his absolute sheer brilliance. And part of my job was to edit things that he wrote. And I would do my edit, and he dropped, I don't know, like a 6 or so page document. Gave it to me. I'm editing it. I do my normal work, and I came across this one paragraph that was just a jumble. And I'm like, "Ugh," I'm a college intern at this point, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't quite know how to fix it." And I told myself, "Carrie, with that huge brain of his, will know how to fix it." And so I just wrote AWK in the margin. Awkward, standard editorial term. And I really thought, like, Carrie will see that that's awkward, and he will rewrite those sentences. And I finished it up. I dropped it on his desk. He was gone at lunch, and he came back, and I mean, it's like down to my office coming back, and I'm like, "Oh, Carrie's coming to see me. I suspect he's not happy." Like the way that he came marching in, and he takes this document, and kind of with a twinkle in his eye, he, like say, almost like shaking, he looks at me, and he just drops it on my desk with a thud. And he said, "Don't you ever give me an AWK without an FIX." And I'm like, "Oh." And what this, like, master educator, and leadership coach, what he was teaching me is, don't point out problems. Give me solutions. And, so I took this back, and I'm like, okay, I applied a little bit, more effort to it, and I was able to rewrite it. And I sort of sheepishly returned it back to his desk. And I learned one of the most important lessons of my career is, don't just drop problems on people's desks. Like, do your best to come up with a solution. And that's not to say, as a leader, you should always demand that people have a solution, because people need to feel like it's okay to say, I have a problem and I truly don't know what to do about this. But those are the minority cases.
Yeah. If I think about this in my own experience, trying to coach someone. So I hire somebody, maybe they've got less skill, an intern, someone that's new in their domain. Maybe they're a transplant. They were an expert in one area, but now I've got them in a new area where they're not an expert. If somebody gives me just back the problem, hey, no fix, just awkward. The problem with that is how do I coach them? Because if you give me a solution, if you give to
You don't have
Carrie,
anything to work with.
if you give to Carrie, like, here's my this is awkward, I don't know how to fix it, but this is how I tried to fix it. Now, all of a sudden, if he does something different than you, he can come to you and say, thank you so much for this recommendation. Here's what I did and why. And we all know this now as we're training or priming an AI agent or something like this. We're getting used to having to prime for better solutions. But the same is true when you're working with somebody. If they give you a solution and it's not quite what you want, now there's a coaching opportunity. If you don't give me anything, what do I have to work with other than
clay?
Yeah, there's no clay for me to work with. And so I think that this is why this is so valued by leaders, is because it actually gives them a chance to help that individual elevate their game. So Liz, what should people do if they like this clip?
Well, if you like this clip, you can watch the whole episode here.